Continue to be positive on the power generators. I think we are positive on stocks like Tata Power. For that reason, even ancillary power transmission companies like AEC International, very strong order book. In fact, today the company reported a new fresh order of almost 800 odd crores. So I think power distribution, power ancillaries. I would believe that the entire space looks interesting, provided the investor has a slightly medium term to long term view. We believe that both FY25 and 26 are going to be very strong years. And most importantly, companies which are running a large order book, definitely would enjoy good visibility in both top line as well as profitability. So AEC remains our top pick, and obviously Tata Power from the power generating space.
Just out of curiosity, Avinash, not constructive on NTPC, valuations slightly more reasonable, broadly?
Yeah, I think NTPC, according to us, I think definitely is a good long-term opportunity. But I think it's been a very slow mover. I think probably a year the time frame would possibly be little more than 12 to 18 months, considering the fact that the stock has not moved up quite significantly in a very reasonable time frame. So here we would be constructive on the company, provided the investor is willing to take a slightly more longer term call. But yes, NTPC also could qualify the bet as one of the key power generators.
Okay. Anything specific with regard to OMCs, Avinash, before I move on? Because I want to try and cover that theme as well. OMCs, whether upstream, downstream, your views on this entire oil and gas space, how would you play it?
I think we are positive on the oil and gas space. We like both the gas companies as well as the oil marketing companies. In fact, in the near term, oil marketing companies could be sentimentally hit due to the recent developments in Iran and Israel. But I think clearly looking at the kind of traction both on the automotive and the airline kind of segments, which are the largest consumers of oil and gas. So I think that definitely looks quite interesting. Somebody who's got a contra view can obviously look at BPCL, HPCL. But I think from within the gas, stocks, I think we look at Mahanagar Gas, or for that reason, a Gujarat Gas. These companies, I think, should do better because not only have prices improved, but even the throughput has improved. And I think to a large extent, I think the government has also pushed these companies in ensuring that they get better incentives. So I think MGL and Gujarat Gas could be good, reasonable bets, for a medium to long term horizon. And from the OMC space, we would believe that HPCL and BPCL, and of course, if you could add, even IOC looks interesting. But yes, I think it all depends on how the crude prices move up. If the crude price does not get jolted, in a very big way, then I think these companies would definitely do better in the coming quarters. I think my guess is, Harsh, this definitely is an interesting bet, considering the fact that they have market leadership and high market presence in these kind of value-added products. My sense is that even at these valuations, looking at the kind of buoyancy in the wire market, this is one company where I think the stock has got a reasonably good risk-reward potential if one were to take the next 12 to 15 months. Our sense is that FY25 looks quite interesting, and hopefully margins get better. And of course, it is combined with a good volume push, then I think you could see a reasonable amount of re-rating even happening from the current odd levels. But yes, I think clearly, today's move has been quite sharp. So maybe a slightly a dip in the stock could provide a good entry point for investors going forward. I think, Tamanna, the fact of the matter is what Hemant said is right, that this is pure momentum buying. I think people are now grabbing the share in the hope that, even before the buyback, some trading profit is done. So I think if you're lucky to get it, fine. But otherwise, I know it's very difficult now since the news is out. As far as investment calls are concerned, we like a company called Zaggle Prepaid. We believe that this has got a differentiated business model, and maybe it's not a call for the day. But if one were to take the next 6 to 12 months, they have been adding customers very aggressively. In 24 March last year, they added 620 customers. They have a now clientele of almost 3,000 customers. And clearly, the kind of positioning this company has, it's a mix of product and financial solutions. And numbers have been pretty strong in the first quarter, a profit of 22 crores compared to just 8 crores in quarter one last year. So I think my sense is that we could see levels of 450, 440, over the next 6 to 12 months. This is a stock where I think a reasonably good, upside is possible. I think you need to just hold on for the next, 6 to 12 months. Exactly. I think, the next 6 to 12 months, our fair value is around 440, 450. But I think you're right. The propensity to increase volume and scale up the business, is significant. And in fact, now the numbers have started getting reflected in the quarterly numbers also. That's why I mentioned in quarter one, you got a profit of 22 crores compared to just 8 crores in quarter one. Number of clients have also started adding, and this is like a large and a very strong annuity kind of business model. So I think yes, longer term also somebody if one were to take a call for the next say 18 to 24 months, I think definitely this is going to be an interesting bet, Harsh. My guess is that companies which are sitting on reasonably good order book, I think PSP projects, from Ahmedabad, they have a large order book. They have very marquee kind of, projects which are coming up. So my sense is that, one has to stay in the saddle for these companies. The third and the fourth quarter typically is supposed to be the best quarter for these companies. And I think most importantly, new orders are coming in. So I would believe that, PSP projects, which is a quality play, and has got a very large order book of almost roughly about 1800 crores, has also got a very reasonably good revenue visibility over the next say 12 to 18 months. So I think there are lots of stocks where in this sector, the construction and the EPC segment, I think things are moving out pretty smoothly. And I think as long as new orders come in, Harsh, I think you could see a lot of re-rating happening here. But yes, you need to be staying invested here for a reasonably medium to long term time frame. No, I think metals have definitely bounced back, and you're right in saying that if interest cut comes in, demand from China perks up, then I think you have a very solid foundation for companies, like Hindalco, Tata Steel, Vedanta. I would believe that all these companies are trading at historical lows, and I think clearly from their peak valuations, of course. And I think these companies have got very large geographical kind of reach, both within India and abroad. So I think clearly China is going to be the joker in the pack. If we get some clear indication as that demand is going to perk up from China, because for a very long market, China has not been a very active player in the metal market. So I think we'll have to wait for the September quarter, Tamanna. But I think clearly Tata Steel, Vedanta, I think looks pretty interesting. Apart from Hindalco, which has already seen a good move. So we'll have to take a small bet in the sense that somebody who's a contra investor can actually bet now and preempt, the quarterly numbers. Once the quarterly numbers are out, management commentaries are out, I think we could see a better run, going forward.